In 2025, there's literally an unlimited amount of ways that you could source profitable products to sell on Amazon FBA. In 2024 alone, I sold over $700,000 worth of products on Amazon and put $175,000 profit in my pocket. Well, in today's video, I want to be breaking down 3 products that I sold over the last couple of weeks in my Amazon business that made me some really good money. And the cool thing is I did this 100% from home. I purchased all of these items from eBay and sold them on Amazon. Now, before we get into today's video, I want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is SellerAmp. And you're gonna see during this video that every single item that I purchase, I use SellerAmp to analyze the deal first. And during this video, I'm gonna be breaking down what I paid, my profits, and I'm gonna be using SellerAmp to calculate my ROI, my profit, and how much total money I made. So without further ado, smash that like button and let's get into these 3 items that I flipped and made money that you can too. All right, so here we are inside of my computer, and this is the first item that I sold, and I'm gonna break everything down with SellerAmp. So as you can see, SellerAmp is installed on my computer. All you have to do is get a free trial to SellerAmp, link down below. And essentially what will happen is SellerAmp, this tool, this Chrome extension will show up on your sales page. So you can see right here that I've got SellerAmp integrated. And I'm going to put a screenshot for all of these items of what I paid on eBay. So you'll be able to see that I actually purchased it on eBay. And I'll also put up some screenshots as well during each item of my actual sale on Amazon. So you know that these are items I'm actually picking up and actually selling. But you can see right here that I paid $16.14 for this Autobot Tailgate Transformers toy. I love toys. I think toys are such a great item to flip, whether that's, from your thrift stores or from eBay to Amazon or at your retail stores like Walgreens, Walmart, Target, doing online arbitrage on Barnes & Noble. There's so many opportunities to flip toys. And I paid $16.14 on this toy and I sold it for $49.99, which you can see on the screen. And if you take a look here on SellerAmp, the cool thing is SellerAmp will break down what your total profit is, your profit percentage, your ROI, and even your break-even price. So say, for example, in this situation, I picked it up for $16.14. Worst comes to worst, if the price eroded, if there was a bunch of price tanking, if I sold it for $23.49, then I would have broken even. But I sold this for $49.99, of course, picked it up on eBay, and I made $22 profit and 139% ROI. Now, if you take a look here on the screen, you can see your eligibility. So if you're restricted, SellerAmp will give you the ability to get auto ungated or to go ahead and provide an invoice to get ungated. You can see the BSR, which in toys, 306,000 within the top 5%. Typically for me, with my business model, I'll flip toys up to about 500 to 600,000 rank, but I'm normally only buying 1 or 2 quantity. If you're doing traditional online arbitrage or you're doing retail arbitrage, you might want to focus on toys that are under 300,000 since you're going to have a lot more money and a lot more quantity in those toys. Now, if you scroll down on SellerAmp, you can see all the sellers on the listing. So you can see that there's merchants starting at $39.99 and then FBA competitors at $48.99. And then I'm on the listing here at $49.99. And then there's somebody priced really high at $71.55. If you keep scrolling, you get a nice big fat Keepa chart that is dynamic. So you can go ahead and take a look at the various price history over 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. And then down below it, there's a buy box analysis tool. So instead of having to go into Keepa to look at all of the different data and metrics, it's built right into SellerAmp. So you can see Stat Commerce is stealing the buy box about 50% of the time. Another 39% of the time, the buy box is actually suppressed. And fun fact, I flip a lot of items from eBay to Amazon where the buy box is suppressed just because I typically only have 1 quantity. And you know what I mean? There's not a lot of competitors. A lot of these items I'm picking up from eBay are discontinued. They're not in the retail stores. You're not able to source them via online arbitrage, the traditional means that a lot of people do it. I do things differently on eBay. So I'll still flip items where the buy box may be suppressed. Here you can see who is winning the buy box and at what prices. You can get a history of the price and also the offer count. Keep in mind, if the offer count is going up, a lot of times the price will come down. If the offer count is going down, a lot of times the price will go up just based on supply and demand. So this is very important to look at. And then there's other information such as ranks and prices, over time, eligibility, is it hazmat, dangerous goods, IP analysis. So you can see right here, not only is SellerAmp helpful for being able to calculate your profits, seeing the monthly sales, BSR, what's your ROI, what's your profit, but it gives you a lot more data. And this is why I use this tool every single time before I buy an item. Now, you might be wondering, how do I buy my items from eBay to flip on Amazon? Well, funny you asked. I actually use a tool called a Replen Catcher, and Replen Catcher essentially scans millions of products on eBay and then brings all the good opportunities right to you that you can flip for 40, 50, 60, 70% ROI. So if you want to check out that tool, I'll put a link down below, and use the coupon code REPLEN10 to save 10% at checkout. But you could try that tool 100% free for 14 days. But that's how I source all my items from eBay to flip on Amazon. All right, so let's get into flip number 2. This was a killer eBay to Amazon flip. I mean, I live for deals like this. We ended up picking up this item with a Replen Catcher for $25.80. And it did take about 3 months to sell. So this took a little bit of time to sell after it got checked in. But look at what it sold for, $85.68. And using the SellerAmp tool, I can see that I made $39.66 in profit, 153% ROI. And I mean, this is absolutely incredible right here. I mean, you can see the competitors right now are at 80, 85. If you take a look at the Keepa chart that's embedded inside of SellerAmp. And another fun fact, if you don't want to pay for a Keepa subscription, which is like $20 a month, SellerAmp has it built in for free. Now, it doesn't give you every single benefit of having a Keepa subscription, but you get a bunch of useful information such as this dynamic Keepa chart, buy box analysis, all of the current sellers, so on and so forth. But if you take a look at this pink line right here, this item is selling consistently for $80, upwards to over $100 all day long. Now, this isn't a super popular item. It's a 300,000 rank in toys, only 5 sales over the last month. But I'll tell you this right now, if you look under SellerAmp, you can see that these green drops are consistent sales. Now, these things aren't selling left and right every single day, but when you could pick an item up using Replen Catcher for $25 and flip it for $85.68 and make 153% ROI, you're definitely going to be willing to wait a couple months for that item to sell. You guys, I love flipping items like this. This was a brand new Scrabble Express handheld, brand new sealed. I mean, this thing's probably 20 plus years old. It's discontinued. You're not going to have a lot of price tanking on an item like this because you're not going to be able to source it all day long every single day. You know, Replen Catcher will notify you when it becomes available at a specific price, but just keep in mind, items like this are really great because they're hard to come across, they're discontinued, and you have a very low risk of getting a counterfeit or an IP complaint because everybody knows these things are old. You know, brands aren't really going to be worried about this because they're focused on more current modern items. And most of the products that I flip are just like this. Now, one more cool feature that SellerAmp has that I forgot to mention, I've talked about this in other videos, is if you're not using Replen Catcher or you're not using any automated tools like Replen Catcher, say, for example, you find this in a thrift store and you flip it for $85. Well, after you flip it and sell it, if you've got a subscription to SellerAmp, one thing that you should do is open up the sales page, have SellerAmp jump up on the screen, and then hit the search eBay button. So you can actually go ahead and hit search eBay, and it'll do a reverse search of the UPC. And you can go ahead and look to see if it's available at a price that'll make you money. Now, I just hit that eBay button on SellerAmp, and you can see that it searched the UPC. So now what I could do is I could scan through here and take a look to see if there's any of these items available at a price that I'd be willing to pay. Since this item's selling for about $85, I'd probably be willing to pay up to $40. I can see that there's offers for $55 plus shipping, $59 plus shipping. This one's $48 plus shipping, which is a little too expensive. And you could actually go in here and you could filter it from lowest first. So I'm going to go ahead and hit lowest first. And also you can filter on the left-hand side under condition for new. And you can see right here that there is a potential opportunity, but it's about $10 or $11 too expensive. So one thing that you could do that's really great on eBay is if there's a best offer option, you can go ahead and make a best offer. And if they don't offer the best offer option, you can go in, hit contact seller, and you could send them a message and essentially say, hey, I noticed that you have this item for $39.96 plus shipping. Would you be willing to take $25? And while nobody likes to lowball other people, and if you're on that side of the coin, you don't like to get lowballed as as well. But just keep in mind, a lot of times it's not as crazy as a low ball as you would think, because a lot of these people are picking these items up at garage sales and thrift stores for $1 or $2. Maybe it's been laying around their house. And if the item sits for 3, 4, 5 months, they'll happily take a $20, $25 offer. I do this all the time. In 2024, I sold over 6,300 items from eBay to Amazon for over $700,000. And over half those items that I purchased were for making best offers and sending messages. So don't sleep on that tip. I'm telling you right now, it works, and it works well. All right, and now let's get into the third item that I flipped thanks to Replen Catcher, and of course, thank you to SellerAmp, and it's this Elvis DVD. Now, if you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, you know that there's two products that I just love so much. It's always close to my heart, and it's books and it's DVDs. Books is how I got started flipping items on Amazon, and I still flip books from time to time. I don't do a ton of them from eBay to Amazon right now, just because my prep center is mostly focused on new, and a lot of my systems are streamlined out for new products. But I love books, and especially DVDs. I flip a lot of brand new DVDs using Replen Catcher on Amazon. And here's an example of a DVD that I flipped. I've flipped this many times before. It's a replen of mine. So here you go. Go ahead and go source this one and flip this one. But this is Elvis Aloha in Hawaii. I paid $34 for this DVD using Replen Catcher on eBay and sold it for $70. If you take a look here on SellerAmp, you can see, yes, I am eligible to sell this item. It's a 21,000 rank in movies and TV, which is great. Typically for DVDs, I'm looking to stay between 30 to 80,000 as my sweet spot, but I will flip DVDs up to about 125,000. Now, if you're picking DVDs up for like $1 or $2 at the thrift store, you can certainly go higher. I have friends of mine. Big shout out to Mike, the used book guy, who he'll flip DVDs for 2, 3, 400,000 rank, but he's buying these items for much cheaper at library sales and thrift stores. When I'm spending $34, I don't want to buy a DVD that's going to sit for 4, 5, 6, 7 months. I want my items to flip within 30 to 45 days or less, or else I'm going to run into massive cash flow issues. But you can see this item right here has approximately 12 sales over the last month, thanks to SellerAmp. And if you take a look at the cost, I paid $34, I sold it for $70, and I made $20 profit on this DVD. Guys, I am not special. I'm not doing anything special. Anybody can do this. Literally, all you have to do is go look on eBay, whether you use an automated software like Replen Catcher, or you just use the search eBay button here on SellerAmp, or just go manually look up these items on eBay. Go make best offers. Go send messages to negotiate deals with these eBay sellers. I'm telling you, there's a lot of eBay sellers who are suffering because the algorithm punishes them. Who here has ever sold on eBay and you have a bunch of great items up and it just doesn't sell and you don't know why? You look into sold listings. They're selling all the time. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. This is from real life experience. So go out there and make offers to these eBay sellers. They will be grateful. They will be thankful that you're putting money in their pocket. And then you can take those items and sell them for more on Amazon, right? This is the name of the game. You can take a look here that the price has actually eroded a little bit, but not in a serious way. There's just one seller that's undercutting everybody at 60.27. The market's actually at about 74.94 at the lowest, and then 76.85. I've sold this item actually in the past for $80 to $90. But again, if there's multiple sellers at 74, 76, 77, I'm not going to price it at 92 because I want my items to move within 30 to 45 days or less. Now, if you take a look here on SellerAmp, you can see again the Keepa chart, which I love. And you can see that the price is moving all over the place. It was 85 down to 50, back up to 85. So this thing does move. And if you take a look, it's probably moving. If we scroll down here on SellerAmp, yeah, it's moving based on the offer count. So if you take a look at this little box above 3 months, you can see the offer count was at 7 to 8 to 9, and then down to 6, and then 5, and then down to 3. When that offer count dips, typically the price will jump. So it's very important to play around with these dynamic Keepa charts and offer counts and price history, and to take a look at the buy box analysis to see who's winning the buy box. Is it suppressed? Is there a seller that's stealing it? You can see right here during this buy box analysis that the buy box is rotating amongst a lot of different sellers. And that's what I love about DVDs. Typically, it's not one seller stealing the buy box. It usually rotates pretty equally. And you'd be shocked at how fast a lot of these DVDs sell for. I was on a live stream the other day with my good friend Avery of Go-To Lister and Mike the Used Book Guy. And Mike even said on the video, DVDs sell faster than books. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule depending upon the book and DVD that you're selling, but DVDs sell fast. I love flipping DVDs. And this is another great example of a DVD that you can flip on Amazon. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I want to give a big shout out to SellerAmp. I'm telling you guys this right now, not just because SellerAmp is sponsoring this video, but honestly, before they were ever a sponsor to this channel, I have literally bought and sold tens of thousands of items, probably over 30,000 products I've flipped from eBay to Amazon in the last 4 years. And guess what? There has not been a single item that I have purchased without first analyzing it with SellerAmp. SellerAmp is a game changer. I'm not just saying that. I use it every single day. I don't bring sponsors onto this channel that I don't 100% believe in. And also the owners, it's a family-run business, great people, great team. So big shout out to SellerAmp. Try it out, guys. Free trial down below. But hopefully this video not only educated you, but inspired you to the opportunities that are out there on Amazon. So that's all I got for you guys. Just want to say thank you so much for subscribing. If you did enjoy this video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. I'm happy to help you. But with that being said, much love. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.